Nerd Reactor, roll out.
You all right, John?
How's it going, Mayling?
How you
And
doing?
doing good, doing good. Look at that. I love all the stuff. Just got the bag in the background, just getting ready to punch things.
Hey, this is my space, so there's only so much of it I can afford in LA. So you're getting it all.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Unfortunately, I don't have a studio, but one day.
one day, one day. But Suicide Squad, big movie. You're in it as a
I
one
know,
of
pinch
the
me.
you're one of the many the villains in it. And what is it like? Where did you have to do auditioning, or did they choose you? Like, let's get Mei-Ling in this.
I actually auditioned. I did.
Mhm.
I did. I was a runner in the Wonder Woman like a few years before, but this was just a audition that an old agent actually called me up, and yeah, and they said, "Can you go in for this audition on Monday?" It was Friday, and it just said James Gunn and Creature. And I was like, and so I went in, but I actually went in and I thought I goofed up. And so I sat there like at the time, just kind of sitting there going, oh God, you just messed this up. And so I'm sitting there really intense and kind of like, "Ugh." Anyway,
Mhm.
because that's what I do when I'm upset with myself.
Yeah.
And now knowing what Mongal's like, I think they were like, oh, like that's Mongal. Because I was
Yeah.
sitting there like just growling and Mongal growls.
Oh yeah.
They told me 3 days later that I was offered the role, and then they gave me the name and what the film was for, and my head just blew off, literally just like fell down. It was just like, oh my lord, it's
Oh
crazy.
wow. So
Yeah.
yeah, what was that like? When you're like just growling during that moment, and did you feel like, oh, maybe that did work? I'm gonna maybe do that in future auditions.
No, I don't think it would. I don't think it would actually work as a human. I think it would
Yeah,
work for the
yeah,
alien.
yeah, yeah.
It worked for the alien supervillain, but I don't think. I mean, sometimes I'm very hard on myself, so sometimes I'll just sit there and be like, "Oh, you doofus! Oh my god, you just suck," and I'm like, ugh, But I think at that moment where she's sitting there and she's because she's supposed, I was actually I actually got a word. I think it was hot shorts and it went to shorts or hot pants and it went to hot pants and it went to shorts, and I said hot shorts instead of like hot pants. And I
Hmm.
just sat there and was just like, and but apparently when I sat there and did that, it was something that they liked. So
Oh wow, that's
yeah, you
awesome.
just never know. You just never know. But also you know what, I actually think when the casting director saw me and I walked in that day, I pretty much looked like this, I had a black tank top on. But when I saw the picture of Mongal afterwards, and when they offered me the role, and I saw that she was like, yellow skinned, almond eyes, but like a big red flowing hair. And I kind of walked in like this, and I kind of got the same physique, and my hair's like just like naturally just like that, and I have the almond eyes. I was like, if I was going to play a character, it's her, like Mongal for life.
There you go. And so you mentioned Wonder Woman, and with Mongal, I've noticed there's a trend with you swinging around, right?
I know. I was
Yeah.
going to say that. I'm going to put that on my Instagram one day, but I just haven't had time to sit down and like do a collage together. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
Warner Brothers love to throw me off a cliff. It's like two movies, two cliffs. I'm like, rah!
Oh yeah, yeah.
If you have
Lots.
someone you want to throw off a cliff, it's me. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, both I say both movies, your scenes and requires a lot of just action moments. And I was
Well,
just
it's
wondering if there's
superhero.
yeah, yeah. Any challenges between the two, or is it like the same thing? Like, I'm gonna take this head on
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah.
The only challenge is probably myself, where I'm just trying to give my best. So, I'll try to, even if I do a 18-hour day on set, I would still try to go to the gym, because you have to maintain that physique for
Mhm.
a certain amount. And it was hard to train on Wonder Woman because there was only a certain amount of people allowed in the gym that was on this campus in Italy. But here in Atlanta, when we filmed Suicide Squad, I think it's hard to have, with the hours and the times, it's hard to keep your training up. So I
Mhm.
had plenty of time to prepare, but it was just like the nutrition that I had to manipulate, because I'm actually like I can get very fluffy. Like I train
Uh,
really hard, and my macros have to be precise for me to maintain a certain physique. Because I
mhm.
love my dim sum, like my pizza and whatever. So if I don't, I don't want to go up to the costume and say, I don't fit in this anymore. I don't want to do that to the film. So I'm pretty
Yeah.
hard on myself where I'll forfeit the sleep and try to maintain what they paid me for. So that was the biggest challenge, was that. And just trying to get, if sometimes I was on the makeup chair and I couldn't get to breakfast or lunch, and then they would get it for me. They would get me like the foods that I couldn't eat, and they just didn't understand. So it was like hard to just try to have that food in my trailer for when I did have a break. The ones that would make me maintain.
Yeah. So I guess, for that, there's a lot of like just dietary restrictions or whatever it is that you have to do to maintain the physique.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
To get the superhero ready is easy. It's to maintain it while you're working on a set is the hardest thing, because I'm like naturally a thin person. I'm actually a rhino. So yeah, that was the hardest challenge probably.
Not being in the makeup stuff, because your character has lots of stuff all over, right?
I mean that was 4 hours, and we got it down to under 3, I think, at the end. That was okay. Putting it on was, you kind of zone into it. It was the worst bit was probably at the end where they put the face on. That's when you really feel it, because your face starts to drag. You feel like your face is dragging after like 5 hours or 6 hours, and it melts. So everything just feels like it's hanging off. It's like you dive head first into chewing gum, and you're really sticky. So I couldn't like sit down on seats. I'd come up and like my legs would be gone, or like my arms would be gone if I did that. So that was the kind of thing I would just, you wouldn't sit down and relax for the whole time, which is nothing. I'm willing to do that. But probably the hardest thing was after a hard day of being on set and going for the makeup is then getting it off. Sometimes because they would put a sealant on it because they didn't want me to melt and stick to chairs and stuff. They would seal it, and then I couldn't get it off. So there was a few times where they panicked a little bit, where we were rubbing with alcohol and like terps and like smelly chemical stuff. And then they got me a sauna to sweat it off. And you're in Atlanta and you've been sweating all day. Now you got to go into a sauna. So that was tough, but it's just part of the job. And, to be Mongal, I'll do it every day. I love Mongal.
So like the role, Suicide Squad with different characters. So what was it like just being around other villains all around you?
I would look around. I was on the beach. I was in the chopper, and I'd look around and just see all these characters in these very flamboyant James Gunn detailed costumes, and I would think I was dreaming. It was just like, I can't believe. I mean, I had some dialogue with Harley Quinn, and I would sit there and just be like, really? Am I alive? Like right now? This is like amazing that I'm sitting there, and Nathan's, they're joking with Pete and stuff, and then going on the beach, and it's just a really cool scene, and music's playing. It was, and we got paid for doing it. It was great. I was like, just win-win situation. And then James Gunn's like giving you directions, and you just feeling like it's a fantastic lifetime opportunity that I hope I repeat again.
Oh yeah. And I guess for like on the set, do you have like that one memorable moment? Like this is like the scene that makes me want to just do more movies.
I mean, every day was, one day it's just you were the cast and the ensemble, and just being with the squad, walking down the helipad, the airport, but with the American flag behind me. Like I was going for my green card at the time as well as an actor. I was being an O1 visa, and there was this American flag behind me, and I'm walking down as a supervillain for DC Comics, and I'm just looking and I'm going, it doesn't get better than this. Like I came to this country to go for this, and I'm doing it in front of the big American flag with all of these cool actors and friends and cast, and we're all in these crazy costumes, and there's like 100 production over there, and music's playing, and I think that was probably one of the best days, even though it was hot and sticky, but because it was just a very cool day, and I was just very thankful to be there.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. And Mayling, just want to say thanks for doing the interview, and hopefully you have a great rest of the junket and a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the questions. Thank you.